Welcome back to my channel, Madden Backlog series. Today's Madden 24 pre-release video is must not exist in release. Before we get too deep into this, please click the like icon, click the subscribe and notification icon so you will be informed when a new video has been posted. Must not exist in release. Now let's get started. We can't have X Factor players running over other X Factor players like this. Keep in mind, in the demo of their gameplay first look, Chris Jones did not break through the line like this on any of the non-X Factor players. Once again, you're going to watch a non-X Factor player just bowl over an X Factor player as if he was just a rag doll. You're talking about one of the top premier left tackles in the game who was an X Factor just being pushed around, as you can see, was in a sliding fashion, I should say, to get to the quarterback. It just makes no sense to see how he's sliding him into the quarterback for the sack. Is this a slide or is this a dive? Let's take a look. It looks like he's beginning to slide just about right there. Right? It looks like a slide. Somehow he goes from a slide to almost doing a split. Slide, split, and then now he's diving forward. Can't have it. Defensive players speeding around a receiver on drag routes or crossing routes. This one was a completion, but a lot of times they will speed around the front of the receiver from the rear and intercept the ball. This time that didn't happen, but I've seen it happen way too often in Madden 23, and it cannot be in the release of Madden 24. Calling an audible in the same formation or similar formations should not result in receivers jumping around like this. In this one, I do a reset, and you'll see receivers just jumping around. See that? That should not exist. It makes no sense. There's no reason for it. The proper coding would prevent that from happening. So I don't want to see this again happening in Madden 24. Can't be there. Extended dives. They have done a little bit better, but all they've done is try to hide it a little bit more. You can see that this is a much faster running back, and yet these dive plays are still able to reach your player when you're playing against the console. It needs to stop, and I don't want to see this in Madden 24 either. I don't know why this video was so choppy, but this was to give you an example of a tight end that stalls when he catches the ball, even though you're pushing him forward. And this is an example of him making that same play, same catch, and he just goes forward like you would expect him to under your control. This is a receiver who's going to try to dive across the end zone, but upon that collision, and the fake physics in this game shows up where he ends up running the ball across right off of a dive. I don't want to see that in Madden 24. I want to be able to lead the swing passes. I know early on, like right here, you can do it, but once he turns upfield, and you're going to see this in a moment, once the quarterback throws the ball. Once he turns upfield, that leading just seems to be turned off, so to speak. You'll see him go towards a red line. I want to be able to lead it outside of that red line towards the sidelines, because you have defenders coming down. They're going to crash down on the path, but the ball always comes inside. And that's not going to work. And it kind of goes against their whole idea and concept of being able to lead receivers. So this can't be in the release of Madden 24. You should be able to lead those swing passes out. They need to tame down the defensive tackle speed burst. These guys are slower than what they appear on the field. You've got a guy who's like about 69, maybe at the most 72 speed, able to just burst off of being double teamed in a block up the back of a quarterback who's already in the process of acceleration and running, who's like 83 speed. That should not happen. And I don't know if that's just a chained animation that happens that's screwing that up, or if it's a rating boost. But it is a rating boost, because I've watched how EA boosts defensive tackles who are slow. When the Bucs won, it was, what's his name, Vita Vea. He got a major boost where he could chase you from sideline to sideline. It made no sense. And now they've done the same thing with Chris Jones. Good defensive tackle. He gets through the line with power as far as the speed is concerned. But overall speed, as far as foot speed, no, that's not him. So he should not be chasing up the back of an 83 speed quarterback. It just makes no sense whatsoever. So this too cannot be in the release of Madden 24. This video will close the coverage of the pre-release hype of Madden 24. The standard edition is currently downloading, so I get 10 hours of early access, which means everything from here on out will be my first-hand experience with the game. Now, maybe I will make my 5-minute check summary live. Until the next video, take care. Also, please make sure you help to get the word out by sharing this video. No monetization is involved here. I'll check back with you later.